It's Carrie, obviously. Well, today I'm going to get a little bit serious. For those who don't know, I have schizoaffective disorder, which is schizophrenia mixed with bipolar disorder. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I just want you to be in the know of schizophrenia for those who aren't in the know. And for those who have it, I'm very sorry. I feel your pain, I know. Especially the weight gain with all your with all your psych meds. Yeah, the weight gain is terrible. Like, look, when I was 20, I weighed 119. I'm 5'5". Then after that, everything just went downhill. Or uphill, I should say. When it comes to weight, it's uphill. Anyway, people with schizophrenia, they often have breaks. Like, I was diagnosed at 16, right? And I just had my very first psychotic break about 4 months ago. And it landed me in the ICU because I aspirated. I was so off the wall that I aspirated. And I ended up in the ICU on a ventilator. Anyway, if you're schizophrenic and you haven't had your psychotic break yet, be ready. Because I don't remember anything from my psychotic break. Nothing at all. Like, everyone's telling me, like, yeah, you were saying you were in hell and you were screaming, calling me the devil, doing this, doing that. I don't remember any of it. I couldn't tell you a word I said. And that's scary. That's very scary. And I hate to say it to be the bearer of bad news, but if you have schizophrenia and you haven't hit your psychotic break yet, you will. It's only a matter of time. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news because I'm not. I hate telling people bad news. Like, I could never be a doctor. But, yeah, it's scary. It's a very scary thing. And I'm on all kinds of segments. And I've been on pretty much every segment you can ever imagine. And I still have bad voices and hallucinations and paranoia. Like, I think people are out to get me. I think airplanes that are flying in the sky and helicopters are out to get me and watching me. And I see, like, craziest shit. Like, the other night, my light was off in my bathroom, and I turned it on, turned it back off, and I saw Valak, like the nun, like, no kidding. I saw Valak. And I totally, it was real. It was so real. I could touch her, or him, whatever. I could touch it. I could see it. I could hear it. Screaming out. Not screaming, just like whispering. Weird noises like demons do on movies. It was crazy. And let me tell you, it was one of the worst experiences I've had lately. And not lately. Like, I used to see Kurt Cobain. Yeah, Kurt Cobain. I was about 15, 16, something like that. No, I was 16. Because it was after I was diagnosed. He'd come to my room and he'd tell me all these things. And we were friends. And we hung out for a while as friends. Because I loved Kurt Cobain. You know, I loved Nirvana. But sooner or later, he eventually started telling me ways to kill myself. And this and that. And like bad things. Like how to kill myself and how to kill other people. Which I've never hurt anybody. I've hurt myself. I've cut. I've burned myself. I've tried suicide. I overdosed on pills, on hydrocodone, and drank 2 bottles of alcohol. My first suicide attempt. That was my first suicide attempt when I was 16. And since then, I've been having various suicide attempts. I actually just had one like 5-6 months ago when I overdosed on all my psych meds. I took 2 weeks worth of my morning and night psych meds. I should be dead. Let's just put it that way. With all the times I tried to commit suicide, I should be dead. But I'm not. And I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky. And I'm very, very blessed. I cannot tell you how many times I've wanted to die and just gave up on life. I've deleted social media. I've not talked to anybody. I've isolated for days. I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to die. It's not depression, okay? It's not because I'm depressed. I mean, yeah, I get depressed. Who doesn't? My voices tell me shit. My hallucinations. It's just like, one time I had a hallucination that I was falling in a fucking canyon and I couldn't get out. And I was in classroom. I was in fucking school my senior year. And somebody was like, hey, what the hell are you doing? I woke up and I'm like, whoa, I'm on the freaking floor. I thought I was in a canyon dead. And, okay, like I was going to say before, if you think you have schizophrenia, please see somebody. Not a doctor, not like a medical doctor, a fucking psychiatrist or a counselor or somebody. And I will tell you the biggest symptoms right now: voices, hallucinations, paranoia, delusions. Depression and anxiety can come with it too, because I have depression and anxiety from it. And the biggest thing, well, not the biggest thing, but one of the biggest things is mania. You're manic, you're euphoric, and then you're depressed, then you're manic, and then you're pissed off, and then you're angry, and then it's like you have all these emotions just bottled up inside your head, and you have to let them out. If you don't let them out, you guys know what I mean. Like, you let them out later on, and it's even worse. Like with my anxiety, like when I was purging, I bottled up all of my shit. And then all of a sudden my anxiety just went snap, and I yelled at my parents, cussing them out. It was horrible. To say I have an easy life is kind of a slap in my face. I mean, I'm not saying I have a hard life, but nobody understands what I go through. Nobody understands what I go through. My life is just, it's a hard knock life for us. No. Anyway, you think you have schizophrenia? Please tell somebody. If you feel like schizophrenia is a physical illness too. If you guys didn't know that. Like, I got an MRI when I was younger. I'm 27 now. But I got an MRI when I was younger. I was about 18, 17, something like that. It showed that part of my brain was missing. That's from schizophrenia. That's from psychosis. It shows that parts of your brain are missing in the MRI. Not in a CAT scan, but in the MRI. So, and it can be physical. Doesn't even matter if you hurt yourself or not. That's not the physical. It can be physical part, but the main physical part is you get so worked up that you end up hurting. You end up getting sick. And you end up in the hospital, like the regular hospital. Like, I can't tell me how many times I've had seizures and end up in the hospital, and they can't tell me why I have seizures. And then they're like, you know what? It's just all in your head. It's not all in my head, but still, like, it's just schizophrenia. So yeah, that's probably why. I cannot tell you how many times I've had seizures and ended up in the hospital. Almost ended up dead. I had sepsis, and nobody knew why. And I'm starting to think it was my schizophrenia. So, and believe me, I've dealt with this for years. I've dealt with this for 11 years. I couldn't tell you better than, no counselor or psychiatrist could tell you about schizophrenia better than I can, because I've been diagnosed by 7 doctors. 7 psychiatrists. Yep. And it's a scary thing. Schizophrenia is a scary thing. Anyway, if you think it's schizophrenic, please talk to somebody. If you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm always here. I'm always here. Okay? And if you want to, you can follow my Instagram, Songs by Carrie, or look me up on Facebook, Carrie Ann Gabaldon, Gabaldon. And I'll leave my information in my thing. Okay. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.